go.
Okay, thanks.
Go.
Hello everybody, we are back with our
Semi-finals.
Yeah, semi-finals, right? With Chien and who's the other guy? And Botao, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
We've seen both these players on stream before. Yeah, Chien, pretty convincing victory. I believe it was 2-1.
yeah. Against Rain. Was it Rain? Yeah.
Botao was also a 2-1. We saw him bring double follow me supports to complement his offensive partners. So it'll be interesting to see how these players match up in these semi-finals. Both very strong based on their Swiss record.
Definitely.
And also in their own right, both very strong players.
Yeah. So, Botao is bringing a team of Grimsnow, Iron Hands, Mouse Hole, Skelly Dutch, Indidi, and Amarouche.
Yes, for Chien we do see the Palafin, Arcanine, Iron Hands, Roaring Moon, Sylveon, and the Mousehole as well.
Yeah. So Botao bring a bit more of it's like a not as common tip because Skelly Dutch has been floating in and out of the meta.
Skelly Dutch has always been useful against Dondozo because it itself also has Unaware, and if you Terra Grass, then you avoid Wave Crash that most Dondozos run. But no Dondozo here for Chien, so I'm not sure if he'll bring Skelly Dutch. Maybe he'll opt for
the other mode, the side spam mode.
Amarouche is a pretty solid combination, sort of a tried and true tested. Some variations of players have run weak armor Amarouche to surprise the competition.
With weakness policy, right, to outspeed their opponent. Right?
Yeah, but his Amarouche is a more standard kind of trick room kind of flash fire.
Yeah. So
Grimsnow actually interesting lead here for Chien.
For Botao, yeah. So, Grimsnow and Iron Hands on Botao's side, Roaring Moon and Palafin on the other side for Chien here.
Yeah, I mean I expect the Palafin to switch out to try to preserve it for the hero mode later on. Roaring Moon for Chien, we did see
it's the
booster energy trigger. It does have Dragon Dance and Acrobatics. It can output a lot of damage onto these Iron Hands with or without a Terra. Actually, so it's neutral, right? From flying.
It's registered actually. Right, because
electric fighting.
Yeah, it's neutral to flying, and honestly, he don't like Chien doesn't even need to doesn't even need to attack.
Yes.
Or he can just Dragon Dance here.
Grimsnow put up one of the screens. I'm not sure which.
Oh, a critical hit takes out the Grimsnow here. That was the light screen.
Okay. Yeah, not even Terraing to get the booster. The booster energy is enough. I do see a Swords Dance here. It's preparing. No. It doesn't run fake out.
No fake out for Botao here.
Yeah, Chien does take a very early lead, and I think quite likely to be able to snowball it to a victory. But we do see Indidi coming here with its Follow Me.
Right.
I kind of feel that the Iron Hands has to Terra to avoid taking super effective hits from the Sylveon's Hyper Voice.
But the thing is that the Iron Hands is a Terra Water, but it's not too bad, but it doesn't resist anything. Yeah, though it's like a plus. Already a +2 Swords Dance will probably clean up the Sylveon from here actually.
Yeah, and I think Chien is quite incentivized to Terra flying his Roaring Moon as well. He probably wants to avoid Drain Punch. I mean, he might get Thunder Punch and take super effective, but you don't really want to give Iron Hands healing.
Yeah. It's more of like, do you want to call it now? It's like, is Chien going to is Chien going to Terra? No, or are you willing to take one turn of damage, or you risk the read? So detect coming out from Iron Hands here.
No Terra from either side also this turn.
Right. So a Jaw Lock coming out here onto the Indidi, right, taking quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, and he can't retreat now. Sylveon probably going for Hyper Voice. That was an attack
into the Iron Hands. So actually it's not the Hyper Voice, it's
Terra Blast probably?
Yeah, it's probably Terra Blast, correct.
Yeah, and Indidi does set up the Trick Room.
So actually right now with Iron Hands being the fastest thing on the field, Botao did swing the momentum back to his side of the field. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though losing the Grimsnow to a crit earlier, I think right now getting the free switch in to Indidi really helped out quite a lot.
With the screen up also. What was it, light screen?
Light screen. So actually Sylveon might not be the bigger threat here. The bigger threat here might be the Roaring Moon.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, based on the screen, then maybe Sylveon could not have taken out the Indidi to stop the Trick Room.
Yep.
But it would have been nice to see Chien try with the Hyper Voice. At least to get its throat spray, right?
No, Chien's one is leftovers.
Okay, then doesn't matter. Yeah.
So probably the Hyper Voice might not even pick up the
bulky
here,
variant,
but
right?
damage is damage.
You see a Terra finally here. it going to be the Iron Hands? Yes, it
Yep.
is. So grass
So,
type. Going to be very weak.
water
to,
type.
Or water type, sorry. Oh, then neutral to the acrobatics.
Yeah, neutral to the acrobatics here.
Neutral to hyper voice too. So
Yeah, so for both, yeah, we'll be taking neutral hits. So you probably going for a Thunder Punch or a Thunder Punch to hit Sylveon for neutral, or a Drain Punch into the Salamence if you don't predict the Terra. But
Yeah.
Chien does Terra here into the Terra flying here.
plus 2 Iron Hands. We're gonna have to see how much damage this does.
Yeah. So actually, all in all, right, a Drain Punch is pretty safe into either slots.
Indeed, going for the follow me here, so drawing away potential acrobatics.
Right.
Oh, Drain Punch!
Oh, Drain Punch coming
That's
out
only
here.
not
Half
gonna,
HP, still not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, not enough to KO Roaring Moon. We'll see Hyper Voice, not quite enough to pick up Indeedee, which means Indeedee will draw away the acrobatics very crucially here.
Yeah. So Iron Hands here actually very safe, even after taking a little bit of chip from the Hyper
Yeah,
Voice here.
even though the Drain Punch was resisted, that 50% to the
Yeah.
Roaring Moon.
It just shows how scary actually Swords Dance Iron Hands can be compared to the more common Assault Bears. Right?
Yeah.
So going by that, Indeedee falling down here, like retreating. Skeleton just come in here and very prime position for Botao to
Yeah, but
continue his momentum.
Botao is down to his last 2 Pokemon here, so he really has to make it count. That was...
Thunder Punch.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
Unfortunately, it didn't kill, and the Yawn does go into the Iron Hands.
Yeah. That was whisk
Yup.
into the Roaring Moon. Okay.
I wanted to say just in there that hey, the Hariyama got guts. You can whiff so that you don't sleep, but it's not Hariyama. Oh no.
See a jaw lock was not going to be very useful since he can't switch out. Perhaps he'd been better off with the acrobatics since it's Terra boosted. But yeah, he definitely should have gone for acrobatics. I feel.
Yeah, Acrobatic does have higher base power. Yeah. Though the super effective and the stab here actually is quite.
I think
yeah,
Chien Silver is going to protect here to let the
Iron Hands fall asleep.
go to sleep. Probably going to protect with the
The Roaring Moon too,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
right. I was going to say Salamence.
Yeah, prehistoric Salamence.
Yeah, prehistoric Salamence. Okay, so it's really up to Skeletor here to carry, but Chien still has 2 more Pokemon in the back that he has yet to reveal. So it's definitely an upward battle here for.
I was thinking, Justin, if you are calling the double protect, that's why you Swords Dance and whiffs into your Iron Hand so that you won't fall asleep.
I mean,
you know,
yes,
like
you
the-
stop the
the-
sleep because
yeah.
of the burn, but
Correct.
one whisk can miss as well, and 2 you're nerfing your own attack.
Yeah,
No
that's
good
why you
reason.
Swords Dance. Because you are not gonna get damage off.
Oh,
Perhaps is he going to do it?
But
Is
the
he going to
Roaring Moon didn't
whiff?
protect. The Roaring Moon didn't protect.
But that's fine because the moon can't do any damage at all. Is he going to whiff himself? What happened? I can't reach. Oh, he slacked off.
Oh.
He slacked off.
Yeah, he's gonna get another jaw lock. And Iron Hand is gonna fall asleep.
Actually, honestly, whispering might might be better in hindsight.
Then you really have to
You see that
go
you-
in with,
yeah.
with Drain Punch to offset the damage.
It's 1/16 of your
Actually, you
health.
don't really have to fear though, because based on the Sylveon's spread, it's not doing so much damage to the Iron Hands. Perhaps, I think he rather bang on waking up from the sleep and getting a KO through Thunder Punch or Dream Punch.
Actually,
He's at +4. Dream Punch is gonna hurt a lot.
That is true, right? So actually, probably you wouldn't want any of Chien Mon to switch out here, honestly, because you want to keep it where they are, like keep the passive board view, right? So honestly,
Botao can't switch. He's down to his last.
no,
one.
as in Chien, right? Like Botao wouldn't want to incentivize a
Yeah,
switch.
that was a Hyper Voice.
Yeah, and
And
actually,
they're just going for another slack off here. And you see finally acrobatics.
oh, but
going for
I
jaw
think
lock.
wow, yeah, the previous Hyper Voice did quite a bit to
Yeah.
Iron Hands.
Burn definitely very crucial in letting the Iron Hands survive here. But Iron Hands has to wake up in order to put that +4 to good use. And Trick Room has
Expired,
reversed.
yeah. So right now,
So unfortunately, Iron Hands has to wake up. To
Iron Hands has a chance to wake up to
But even
detect
then, you're just sort of delaying.
the inevitable.
Yeah.
So honestly, I really in hindsight again, I think the whisk play with the Swords Dance might have been the option.
Well, perhaps we do see acrobatics connect here with the Hariyama.
And it's
Robot
enough.
Hariyama, and it's
Yeah,
enough to pick
and
up
it's
the
enough.
KO.
Right. So actually, Botao did have the momentum in his favor, right? Just not very sure that if that +2 Thunder Punch was it a roll on the Sylveon.
For sure. I mean, also very unfortunately, the Grimmsnarl got knocked out due to
the
a
crit,
critical hit.
right, yeah. If not, he could have set up the reflect.
Yeah.
Reflect also.
You see finally Sylveon going down to a Torch Song here. Skeletor will be a +1. Relatively healthy, but took
But
more
he's
Pokemon in the
1v3
back.
though.
Yeah.
Right, so
it
Palafin
is even the Palafin with the hero mode.
Yeah.
Skeletor won't be able to
Terra
Terra.
either. So that's pretty much game right here as Botao recognizes that, right? So I think he did have a very good solid game plan going forward for this set. Right?
I wonder if Grimstyle is a play.
I think Grimstyle was quite crucial to his game plan, honestly, because the Reflect did mitigate a lot of hyper voice damage. Like as we see
Light screen,
after,
yeah.
the light screen damage. Right? As we seen after the light screen wore off, hyper voice actually did quite a bit.
But I feel like, I mean, yeah, you're quite tempted. I think he's quite tempted to go back to that game plan because if he managed to, if Grimstyle had managed to survive, he would be able to put up Reflect, and that means
Right.
the Roy Moon's damage output wouldn't be so good as well.
Yeah.
And then he can sort of slowly control the game from there because his team, I feel, relies on screens to put up some defenses, and so that he's
So that you can set up.
he can give his Skeletor time to set up with top songs.
Definitely.
And Iron Hands can Swords Dance and still be relatively healthy.
Definitely, right. So, so yeah, I think he will attempt the same game plan again as we've seen from the selection screen here, the same 4 mons. It's just more, since Chien is not aware that the screens is very important, will he be even more incentivized?
I think Roy Moon is still really good for Chien. We did see time and again his damage output is fantastic.
Yep. Right. So it's more of the partner because Chien did lead with Palafin earlier, which is a passive mon before you switch it out.
I think it's fine because you want to save Palafin for later, and Palafin later on can, with his Jet Punch, can clean up even under Trick Room, assuming there's no psychic terrain.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, he does switch it up, no Roaring Moons as the partner, but instead we do see the Sylveon here.
Right. So Sylveon here,
Change also here, Skeletor actually here.
yeah, instead of the Iron Hands, so
I think-
probably want to go for the Torch Song boost,
Yes. Right
setting
off
up with Torch Song immediately. Right. This also is quite beneficial for Botao here as the Palafin wouldn't be staying in, or unless the Palafin is really going for
You really I
For
fully
wave-
expect
wave
the,
crash
Yeah, I fully
into-
expect the Palafin to switch out.
But then again, if you switch out, you will lose the momentum, right? So I think it's a call. It's a call that Chien has to make because light screen will go up.
For sure,
Right.
it's crucial turns that you're not punishing the Skeletors from setting up, and you.
So Chien opts to switch out the Palafin to get a hero mode. as soon
Mouse
as
hold
possible.
here actually for
Yeah.
Sylveon. Immediately terraing the Skeletor?
Yeah, into Terra Grass. So I will assume that Botao caught the wave crash, but I think like a grass Skeletor is fine too. Yeah, it's more because right now actually it makes sense because light screen goes up, it protects. It's like I think that's Reflect.
That's the thing though, if you Terra Grass, you're removing the Hyper Voice resist
Yeah.
from the Sylveon. We do see Torsong here, not going to do a lot, but slowly ramping up that special attack.
I guess but it goes for Yon instead. Yeah,
Oh.
see Yon proving time and time again that it's punishing Botao's more setup oriented.
Yeah, and actually now terraing the Skeletors means that it's vulnerable to the Mousehole Super Fang.
Oh, but
Since
Justin,
it's no longer Grass type.
Yes. Grimstyle does have Misty Terrain. Yeah, to stop the sleep.
The sleep from triggering.
Yeah. So actually that that actually solves one of the problem. Yeah, right. And Grimstyle, Skeletor can continue to boost. Right. It just
Yeah,
is
he does.
more-
Yeah, he goes for that play. Although the Mousehole Super Fang going into the Skeletor is going to take off half of his health, and we do see another Torsong come out into the Mousehole this time.
Yeah. So yeah, with the Super Fang, the chip is very significant, right? You see with the next Hyper Voice,
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Though I think that's fine, as a Mousehole doesn't really carry any attacking moves other than Super Fang, and Super Fang halves your current HP. So actually, Skeletors can just heal off with another slack off, a slack off.
He has to be worried about Sylveon though,
Right.
because the Mousehole should go for a Super Fang on the Grimstyle, and perhaps the Sylveon can slowly chip away.
Yeah.
Yeah, going into Grimstyle here, because he's fully expecting the Skeletors to go for a slack off, which he does.
Yep. So with both screen set up now, damage mitigation is
It's live.
is there.
But I think Skeletors will go down to another Super Fang Hyper Voice combination.
But that's the thing. The whatever Botao is gonna send in will threaten.
Oh, he has indeed.
Yeah. Will threaten either mons on the
He has
field.
indeed to follow me
Follow me
away.
away.
The attack. I mean, he does get rid of PC terrain, but
But
he
at
can
this
follow
point,
me-
the Yon
he
is
can draw away the Yon.
already, yeah. So actually right now Skeletor have +2 special attack.
Yes.
+2 special attack. But still not out of the woods. Not out of the woods yet.
Again, I wonder if because he's committed to the Terra Grass, the Roaring Moon can easily come in and KO it with a super effective acrobatics if Chien Chien has it at the back. So I would say still very shaky here for Botao.
It is right. It's still making the call. Like, do you want to
remember,
play more passive? Or
we
do
have
you
to remember
exert more
Palafin is
pressure?
at the back as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucy Super Fang into the EDD here, fully expecting a follow me, but no follow me. It's going to be a slack off here again for the Skeletor. So I think the EDD is going for a trick room here.
Yeah, it did go for trick room. So Yawn does come out here.
Oh, Psychic Terrain replacing the Mystic Terrain could be huge here. And the terrain, and the trick room has been set up.
So at this current moment, you might, like for Botao wise, you might want to switch out the EDD here into your Iron Hands you have at the back, but you might take in a lot of incoming damage, and especially since your Skeletor is only at +2, it doesn't do enough to pick off the Sylveon.
Yeah, but Skeletor has done a very good job staying alive up to this stage of the game.
Definitely.
And +2 is definitely very, I mean it's not threatening now, but Mousehole is also not very healthy. So I believe what Toshong will be able to pick up the KO here. Sylveon has not been doing a lot. I mean sure, it's been doing good damage, but Skeletor has survived throughout. Mousehole going for the protect here, hoping to catch an attack.
Right.
Follow me from Indeedee, throwing away any attacks.
So Botao did sacrifice the Indeedee, like to put it to sleep, right?
Yes.
And opting and yeah, wanting to get a free switch into the Iron Hands instead.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see,
So +2 coming out here, still pretty weak, honestly. But his Skeletor is really just a ticking time bomb. Right?
Yeah.
Right? The more turns it take, the more boost
I
it.
believe Sylveon went for a yawn on the EDD again, that's why it failed. That's why there was no hyper voice animation
I
damage.
see.
I think he was predicting a switch into the EDD slot since it was going to be put to sleep. But
right.
instead, yeah.
Botao chose to put it to sleep. So actually, honestly, just yawning into that slot sounds fine on its
Yeah,
own.
but now there's an opening turn here for the Chien Chien because the EDD is a dead slot.
Right.
What can Skeletor do is, I mean, picking up the kill on the Mousehole is pretty good. Iron Hands though would not enjoy taking a hyper voice here.
Yeah.
Okay, you do see a
slack
slack
off.
off.
Oh, it
That's-
looks like a speed tie between the Sylveon.
No, it's
it was a
off.
yawn. It was a
Oh.
yawn. Yeah, Sylveon yawn into Skeletor.
Skeletor, I see.
So
I mean,
that's-
a bit of a waste though. Hyper
Yeah.
voice would have done so much to the Iron Hands. But do you see Super Fang into Skeletor?
Wow.
That's a
It's
lot of
just
damage.
chipping and chipping and chipping. Right.
Now Skeletor is in a very bad position. I mean, you want to stay into slack off, but at the same time, you're going to be put to sleep.
Yeah, and especially since your screens are running out already.
Yeah, Psychic
Right,
Terrain
so many-
also stopping fake out.
Yeah. So many turns has passed by.
Yeah, we have to worry about Trick Room running out as well. And the EDD being put to sleep means that he can't reliably set it up again. Ooh. I guess Chien Chien can slowly claw his way out of this. He has to be very mindful of he has to be mindful of getting rid of the Skeletor as fast as possible since, okay, never mind, his boosts are all gone since he switched out.
Yeah, all the effort. Oh no, all the. Right, so +4 is gone.
Yeah, EDD is going to switch in here, still sleeping of course. Protect from Sylveon here, predicting perhaps an Iron Hands attack. But Iron Hands going for, oh, Thunder Punch, no Swords Dance here.
Yeah, but
Goes into
went
Sylveon.
into Sylveon slide.
Very good call by Chien Chien here.
Yeah.
Mousehole free to go for Super Fang here.
Right, so mouse is really just super fanging everything. Just
Has not missed one.
yeah, just taking a bite out of everything that you know that Botao has.
He has a family to feed after all.
It's true, it's true, right?
Skeletor was not put to sleep since he dodged the yawn. It's going to come in once again. So Indeedee not going to get an opportunity to take a sleep turn. And again, Trick Room turns slowly running out. Oh, Iron Hands is going to come in. Okay, so Indeedee is going to try to burn off a turn of sleep here. Skeletor.
But it's like it really just passive plays over and over again. Like really, really very passive plays.
I mean, I don't. The thing was, Botao was put in the corner once his Skeletor was threatened with sleep. So he was. I mean, his staying in was also pretty
He
good.
only had one chance.
But again, tearing the grass really made him vulnerable to Super Fang, which is really, really killing his momentum here.
Definitely.
He just ignores the screens. He just does a set amount of 50% of damage. And yeah, he's being slowly whittled away here.
It's true, right? So really, it's like the whole game, Chien Chien was just controlling the momentum of the field the whole time. So what if you set up screens?
Chien Chien has not switched any Pokemon.
Yeah,
at all.
Like
Eh,
only Palafin went out
yes,
once,
yes.
Mouse came in, and then it has been these two for the longest time. Right?
Yeah, which is.
Botao has been cycling, but the momentum has always stayed on Chien side of the
I
field.
mean, things were looking good for him because he had a +3 Skelly Dash at one point.
Yeah, especially with the misty terrain, right?
Yeah.
But lost all the momentum when Grims now fell.
He's going to switch out now. He's going to bring in
Roy
Roy
Moon.
Moon. Okay. I mean, we have to say that the Sylveon probably was protected a lot by the Mouse Host Frank Guard as well. Okay, we do see the
definitely.
booster energy being triggered. And Indeedee still.
Oh, it wakes
woke
up and protect.
Yeah. Okay. But now.
Yeah.
Slack off. I can't tell if that's
Yeah,
slack off or
yawn,
yawn.
right?
Okay, but Sylveon's going for Hyper Voice here, I believe. Yeah, so that's some nice damage on the Skelly Dash. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, another acrobatics will pick up either mons.
So now-
actually it's a very clean field for Chien, right?
Yeah.
You just have the acrobatics do something,
Now-
and then the hyper voice, single target hyper voice will pick up.
Alright, Botao is in a pretty bad position. Does he want to follow me away the acrobatics, or does he want to try to trick room and sacrifice Skelly Dash so that his Iron Hands can come in? But again,
It
Chien
feels
Chien-
that it's too late. Honestly.
yes, Chien Chien can easily. I think the thing is Chien Chien's Pokemon are just threatening right off the bat. I mean, that's very ironic since his Sylveon is not really built for damage. It's
Right.
more bulky.
Right.
But he's not been threatened so much that he needs to switch out or protect. Like he was even pressing Yawn a few times to disrupt Butao's board.
Yeah. So it it really goes to show that the archetype of the team really didn't matter.
Not
in the
even
long-
committing to the Terra, just a clean
Yeah.
acrobatics KO on the Skelly Dash here.
It's like the nature of Butao's game is to boost, right? But Chien
Yes.
has so many ways to stop the boost. And like to boost means you have to be bulky, but Super Fang ignores whatever bug you have because it does a set 50% of damage, right? So honestly, going to this matchup, it was really a very like uphill battle for Butao.
Mauso became super MVP with the Super Fang damage output.
Right.
It's just a single Iron Hands. There's even a Palafin at the back.
Right.
Yeah.
4-0. Right. So Botao does concede here. I think it's it just goes to it shows how well Chien knows his team and
Yeah.
how well he can play.
Yeah, I mean, Botao has a pretty solid game plan. Honestly.
Yeah, he did.
It's just been disrupted by Yawn, and unfortunately,
Super Fang. Right.
Terra Grassing opened him up to Super Fang.
Correct.
If he was Ghost type, then he would have been okay.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even take super effective
Correct.
damage.
From Hyper Voice
Yeah, he
also.
would take resistant
Yeah.
hits from the Hyper Voice.
Definitely. So I guess it's like the fact that Palafin was just tearing him down, even though not in hero form.
Yeah.
The wave crash was enough to scare him into to pressure him enough to Terra into grass.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the playbill because you could easily just follow me away the wave crash. Although I'm trying to remember what was the partner for
Grimmsnarl.
Grimmsnarl, yeah, so you can't.
So the best you can do is to reflect. Right. So it was really more of a if you want to Terra grass, you light screen reflect. But he reflect and Terra grass.
Yeah, but Palafin non-hero mode, the base attack is not that high, right?
But it hits hard. It still hits hard because wave crash base 120 is quite scary.
Okay, so that scare basically forces Skelly Dash into
Terra
being
Grass.
vulnerable to Super Fang for the rest of the game.
Yeah. So it's a bit mind games. I think we can conclude that Butao made the wrong call to
I mean,
Terra grass.
at that point in time,
In hindsight.
he was scared into Terra and Grass. So I wouldn't really fault him for going for it. But that definitely caused him a lot of problems later on.
Yeah.
The Sylveon as well, Yawn being able to disrupt. I mean, it looked, for a while, it looked pretty good for Skelly Dash. He was setting up, he even got his Torchon up to +3. I believe one more Torchon, he will be able to kill the
To pick
Sylveon.
it out, right?
Yeah, at any point, I think if he had focused down the mouse hold a lot better, maybe he wouldn't have taken so much Super Fang damage.
I think it was difficult in his position as most of the time he only had one attacker on the field.
Yeah.
The attacker doesn't have a spread move either.
Yes,
Right.
and sometimes also like the Skelly Dash was going for slack offs, so
Yeah.
there wasn't much damage output.
Yeah,
I guess he also kind of had to
He
predict
had to
around
buy
mouse hold
time.
protect.
Yeah, he had to buy time. There was too much to manage for Butao. All in all, there was too much to manage for him. And yeah, it wasn't an easy matchup for sure. And he did try his best.
Okay, so we'll see you once again, Acrobatics Roy Moon in the finals.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll see y'all soon.